You've seen the thumbnail, so you know something is going on, and I'm not going to waste your time. I have started a new channel. It is focused on video game development, and that is going to be my primary focus when it comes to YouTube content creation. And if you want to follow me on that journey, I will have a link to the channel in the description and a pinned comment below. The channel name is Game Dev with Michael, and I'd encourage you to check it out. I think I'm going to have some really different videos than the type of videos I had on this channel, along with some maybe tutorial-ish videos as well. But that's not the main focus of that channel. Now, what does that mean for this channel? So, back before early last year, I was really kind of just posting whenever I felt like it. So there may be months between a video, and that's pretty much what it's going to look like now. I will occasionally still have something that I want to talk about in the Linux world, and I will still be using Linux as my primary operating system, by the way. When I look at the next year or two when it comes to topics to talk about, and I really think about, okay, what could I find that really catches my interest that I also think will be of interest to the audience and, new people to the channel? I'm sure that there will be topics out there, but when I look at that totality, I just can't personally find a way to keep that as interesting as it has to be for me not to burn out, because that is what will happen if I end up trying to continue to produce Linux content every single week. The secondary thing about that, though, is since I will be spending so much time on game dev, it just makes more sense to do content creation focused on game dev as well, just because I can let that feed into each other much better than I could if I tried to do game dev on one side and Linux content on another side. There are aspects where there's going to be crossover, and there are probably times where I may even talk about Linux on the game dev channel, but I just don't see that connecting nearly as much as it does if I start talking about, dev logs and stuff like that for my game, and really working to try to improve my design and my art and all that kind of stuff that goes along with game dev. Because that's the piece that, when I say game dev, I'm really looking at game design, game art, pixel art, even potentially music stuff. And that's all stuff that's just going to take a lot of time to get into and to get even halfway decent at. None of that really connects to Linux. So between the time commitment and the fact that I feel like I'm going to burn out, it just doesn't make sense for me to try to push out a video every week on this channel that ultimately I feel like if I'm not interested in it, you shouldn't be interested in it. So that's it. It's really as simple as that. I'll get into why game dev on the other channel, and that video will be coming up next on that channel. Unity kind of forced my hand. I was planning to do this in just a few weeks, but if you haven't heard, Unity had all kinds of fun issues, and that has created some interesting prospects for Godot. I'm going to be really curious what resources start going to Godot, and if it starts improving at an accelerated rate, because the jump to 4.0 has done some really cool stuff, and I'm excited to see where that goes. As always, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I will see you next time, and hopefully on Game Dev with Michael.